2026 is almost here, and it's a great time to wrap up the entire year and what's going to be happening in 2026. Now, I should probably turn off my ad block to be able to do this properly, but I did take a trade on Bitcoin. You can see a little bit of it going down right now. I do think that we are in for a little bit larger of a correction, but if you want to see that and the rest of my predictions, make sure to watch through the rest of the video and drop a like if you enjoy it. Now, I've got something pretty cool that you guys will want to see, especially if you're into blockchain, crypto, and Web3. KeepSolid, it's the team behind VPN Unlimited and Passwarden, is trusted by over 45 million users and has just launched something new called the KScoin. Remember, 45 million users already trust these guys. It's not hype, it's a real utility token built on Solana that powers their Web3 loyalty program. So here's the deal. KeepSolid has been building privacy tools since 2013, and now they're turning their whole ecosystem into something you can actually own and use. KScoin isn't some frozen reward point locked inside one application. It's a whole digital asset. You earn by just using their apps, renewing subscriptions, installing on new devices, or inviting friends. If you're already in the KeepSolid ecosystem, you literally get rewarded for what you already do. And the utility is live right now. You can spend KScoin for subscription discounts and unlock premium features across KeepSolid apps. Simple, real, and practical. And the starting price is just 1 cent per token, so anyone can jump in without stress. But the part that grabbed me is the roadmap itself. They're building a whole Web3 ecosystem around this, a Web3 browser with built-in VPN and anonymity, an end-to-end encrypted messenger, double VPN services, RAM-based servers, even a marketplace for residential IPs, all powered by KScoin. So this isn't a meme token. This is KeepSolid expanding their privacy mission into Web3. Now, if you want to check it out, everything is at kscoin.net or down in the description below. KScoin is a utility token, not an investment product. Price may change, and secondary market trading is not guaranteed. So as always, do your own due diligence before investing. Now, we're going to dive into a little bit more about the financial market going down right now. Now, in the global world of crypto and trading and the stock market, a lot of things have been happening in the past couple of years. So let's move into the SPX chart just to go into a little bit more depth about the actual macro situation of things, looking at it economically. So we did have COVID years ago. Introduced a massive spike. It was around 2020. So, if you take the weekly chart and go all the way back, you're going to see that we did dip. The market has been growing since then, and the SPX or the US has been outperforming other economies in the meanwhile. Now, as of more recently, or since, let's say, 2025, earlier in 2024, we had AI emerge. So the entire market has been going up and has been on an upward trajectory because of this AI market bubble that people are talking about. So what does this mean for us traders and us people out there actually looking to see what the market's going to bring? Well, if you take into consideration interest rates, if you take into consideration inflation, and the fact that a lot of hedge funds around the world, VC funds, and generally money moving in everywhere is moving in a little bit of a loop. So this is why people are calling it a bubble, right? Because money is going around and people are scared that these new AI projects are not actually going to deliver the value that they're valued at, which causes a bubble, which causes a drop in price. So what we can see as of recently in the S&P 500 is, I would say the first sign of a little bit of a bearish indicator would be taking a look at the relative strength index at the bottom right here, and noticing that there is a divergence in this higher high, right? You can see two higher highs happening right here. And at the same time, you're going to see that the RSI is going into an overbought position later on. So it's moving downwards, which is, obviously not the only indicator of a market switching and turning around, but it is one of the many. We can also see that the upwards momentum going on is kind of slowing down. We're seeing lower highs and lower lows, generally speaking, and on average. We also saw a huge red candle, so there was a sell-off very recently due to some news. But in general, there are two things that the S&P could do right now. We could either break out from the top of this system right here. It's kind of a flag formation and keep going a little bit higher. But long term, and once again, do your own due diligence. Long term, no indicators are showing this right now except for the macroeconomic indicators. I would expect the market to do a little bit of a pullback before moving on to long-term growth as we always do, because as they say, the market always pretty much goes up and has been for the past many years. So where could we expect the price to go? Having in mind the most recent dip that happened, even if we take the fib levels and gather them around here, we could see the S&P retracing to around the $5,800 level in the least. If we did look at the macro scale and took the monthly chart of everything, we can see that the market has been on a huge rampage since the 2008 housing crisis. And if we did take a fib level since somewhere around there, there is potential for somewhat of a larger retracement, which would be around the $3,500 level for the S&P. So how does that translate to Bitcoin and other charts? So, I've been taking I have a watch list with Forex, I have a watch list with crypto and everything, but what interests me right now is Bitcoin and the crypto market. Looking on the large scale, on the monthly, there's not much we can deduce because there's not much information before 2017 that I'm looking at right now. Even though, Bitcoin has been older, but it doesn't really relate to us that much. But on the daily time frame, we saw some very clear signs of bearish movement, which is breaking below this zone at around the $100,000 mark, because that is a highly psychologically important moment right there, because it's a round number. People like to either buy or sell at it, and once Bitcoin crossed the 100K mark, I entered a trade, a little bit downwards momentum, and I'm still in it. On the daily time frame, you can see that more bearish candles are forming. So even though on the lower time frames it might seem like Bitcoin is still kind of growing, we're still looking at a retracement. Some people say 80K, some people say 70K. I have my level here at 75, but I wouldn't be surprised if the market goes down into the 74 to 70K level as kind of a liquidity spike. So you see what this is right here. That's a liquidity grab for shorters. People who are buying end up buying, shorters short at a stronger pace, and then the market gets pulled up upwards very quickly. So we might see a spike down into the 70K or so, and then potentially a pullback of Bitcoin up back into the 110K mark. Long term, who knows what's going to happen. 2026, we could even see prices as low as 50K. If we're taking into consideration these macroeconomic indicators. It is time for a pullback in the market in general, and it's a situation for you all to consider. So that's it for today's video. I hope I gave you guys some knowledge. If you enjoy it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.